home screen look different. I could have what's up. Boy, me like how was the person that come in and like up the live. And I put no bubbles that I go just disturb people eye. Mm-hmm. We're gonna we're gonna go into it. Let me see what I can do now, right? Come and know say everybody probably busy sort out their food quick for get ready for set up for the rest of the funeral, the aftermath of the funeral later. What a lovely ceremony, people. Very nice. Very, very nice. Very nice. I really enjoyed it. It was lovely. It wasn't too much to me. I liked everything about it. I love the pink. You know, I love the pink. Me personally, I did love the pink. I did love the casket. I love how the casket had the names on it. All our different name them. Miss Richie, aka Slim Chick. It was all there. I thought it was lovely. Um, you know, I did not pay any attention to any of the negativity. I paid attention to the positive. And I think she was sent off in fine style. And people came out to support, and that was all that mattered. You understand me? That was all that mattered. But we're gonna do a quick live because I know that she's gone live again, but I just want to deal with this Danielle Rowe thing because I have to go out later and I don't want to stay for very long. Dr. Jumbo Jet said it not look good. I don't pay attention to them people that I love. I mean, how can you even open your mouth and say something like that at a time when the woman is being buried? It's ridiculous to me, Norma. I don't understand that kind of mentality. You understand me? But we're going to do a little chit chat because, you know, so we like it when we're classic, a bit uncomfortable. And I want to take myself away from this funeral thing because it's a little bit depressing for me to be too into it. You understand? Because I really liked Miss Richie. And it's kind of had me on a downer. But we can talk about something separate and apart. Anybody want to go funeral can go funeral. But for now, our graduate class is going to continue. We're going to look at this whole thing with Danielle Rowe and her passing, right? We're going to look at the recent news release that the suspect was actually the suspect for the abduction was actually confirmed in a lineup. And in the lineup, it was a positive identity of the father's girlfriend, be it that it's his current girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend. That's a question that's up in the air because some reports say it's an ex, some reports say it's the current girlfriend. All right, now we're gonna talk about the potential reasoning behind why this person may have abducted this little girl. We're gonna explore some of the things that are out there on social media, and we're gonna form our own opinions. This is a class where you can come up with your own theories. It does not mean that it is necessarily true or necessarily false. I want everybody to feel free to participate in the discussion and don't feel like you have to be bridled in any way because in this case we can call names. We can talk about the people who are already in the public media, right? Okay. So I am sure you're all aware of the tragedy of Danielle April Rowe, little 8-year-old girl who was found unalive. Well, she wasn't unalive; she was severely injured. And I'm gonna be careful how I phrase things because YouTube is a bit funny. You know, anything too graphic, them not too like it. But basically, we know the injury that she sustained. She was found by a soldier who took her to the hospital. When he took her to the hospital, she passed a few days later. Now, there was a lot of suspicion and a lot of kind of theories around who is behind this and a lot of fingers being pointed particularly to the father of Danielle Rowe, and I'm sure you guys have heard about this before, but I want you to first just take a listen to this. Just bear with me. I'm gonna pull up some mini captures of comments, things that people have said, and so on and so forth. And we're gonna just go through it together. All right, bear with me. All right. So this particular clip that I listened to on TikTok was an interview that took place with a friend of the mother. A friend of the mother. And I want you guys to listen carefully to what the friend of this mother had to say about the father and the situation around the passing. All right? Okay, I want you to listen to this. Hold on there. Okay. Let me just make sure say it pull right up. Him abuse him mother because him abusive. He's an abusive man. Right? He's ignorant. Right? I hope you all can hear it. Yes. So each time him put him on her and someone, him lift the big daughter because the big daughter always going out and said, don't lift my mother. Right? Yes. And him always lift the big daughter so till him get mad and put out the whole of them and put out his one and pick me up. So my friend called me now and said to me, say, Mom, you know the thing they put me out and something. I said, Jesus Christ. I said, Mad, I tell you, leave that man alone. She a cry. I said, him won't pick me. Fear daughter that is not his own. And so, yes, when my friend finally come out of that relationship, she ended up meet somebody that was her son's father. She ended up meet that guy. She took a picture, video, everything. She ended up carrying me to meet that guy. She introduced me to him when they live together. She get pregnant with a little boy. Even when she get pregnant with a little boy, when she used to carry Danielle Rowe over the grandmother, before the grandmother did go for her, when she carried the baby car, when she leave her baby car, then that's another road. She did end up with the son father and end up getting pregnant. So even man would have done with the pregnancy that is not his own. Yeah. So I say, what kind of nasty man? What do you mean by that? Here it is. And the pregnancy that is not his own. Okay. The little boy is not his own. Yes. Right? And with a big belly with that little boy in it, he might hold on the woman to sex her. You see, even when them in the judge, when he just find out them have AIDS, she call me, she tell me about all of them, something like them mad, you find out him have AIDS, don't go around him, because him have to kill you. Hold on. What do you mean by find out say him have AIDS? Where you get that from? Him have AIDS. Him have HIV, him have AIDS, him into hospital. She even, I don't even want to let but not something for me put out or give out or anything, but him have HIV, him have AIDS. He had AIDS. I remember when she got up. Listen, I remember when she got down at the hospital, go and look for him. Now I'll take them maga like shred in the hospital. Which hospital? I don't know if I vanished on her wherever. Yes. But we went to the hospital to look for him, and even on him sick bed, she helped him and him a cut her same way dog rotten. This is what she told you? This is what she told you? Yes, even when she did at the hospital, she called me. Yes. Not no matter what she told me, she called me. She did go to a base with him. And even when she let him get the ears that she alone helped him in the hospital. She alone got him never carry things. And him still cut her and deal with her away. I said to her, I say, B, you need to leave him alone. I say, every time we hear so fast, you keep on a help this man. Girl, a day I go come, the man I go kill you. You know him have AIDS, I'll sacrifice him own city. But that now go get him AIDS better. He need to talk and the wife and the rest of the one they get the AIDS, they need to come and talk. And talk how evil that man is. He is a very wicked man. He know. Remember, I'm not going to say no, but the way of this ignorance thing, and because even one time, before when he moved, before the little girl, this happened to the little girl, and something. We have to go in a last year,
she had say, come with her. So I say, all right, Mr. Matt, me afraid, you know. I mean, I want the man, me got to go team five for your shoe, you know. All right, I mean, no, it's going to work out. So anyway, I say, I take up the knife and come. All right, but I take up the knife and follow her. And so, she walk with her daughter, you say she go. The man know him have a sickness, you know. And want to hold on the girl to take her here back to give her. Why? How you know that? She have it, but every time she going over there, she have her phone either on a record or she call me and I do nothing. No time I follow her over there, no time I even know where he live. I put more before him even move. I know I used to follow her over there regular. Jesus. I used to live at home with her. Yes. Yeah, I'm trying the thing with she and I didn't follow to believe and I come over back. Even when she move on, and she move on again, and she move on, it is a problem to me.
All right. So the first thing we're hearing is that the relationship between the father and the biological mother of Danielle was a volatile one. That the mother was aware of the fact that the father had an alleged illness where it was determined that he was of positive status. No. Shalom, madam amado. Big up yourself, right? So when they found out that he's positive, it did not deter the man from wanting to bed the woman bareback. And every time she was dealing with the man tried to hold her down in order to have relations with her without any protection at all. Now, when I was looking at this man at the funeral of Danielle Rowe, I don't know if you see what me see. But this man did look very, I don't know, detached from the whole thing. Now, everybody deals with grief differently, and I am not going to judge the father. But I am going based on what I saw. And, you know, some people are very good at internalizing their grief. Some people, them have to take one whole heap of medication, so them look like them zombie out. But really, because them under medication for keep them sedated. So it could be any of those things. But we're just going to look at his body language just a little bit. Hold on. We're just going to look at his body language. And Una tell me what kind of impression Una gets of this man. Too much about what I'm saying. Let's look at his body language. Hold on, I don't want to see that one yet. Wait, hold on. Not that one yet. I'm going to focus more upon him. Hold on. There is one where we have with just him a talk. We're going to look on just him. All right, it's this
Danielle Rowe's father broke silence as Corporal Noble Rowe made his way to the podium. But before reading from 1 Corinthians, the deceased child's father, who hadn't spoken about his daughter openly, would make his first remark. In between short breaths and deep sighs, he questioned why did someone take his child and in such a heinous way.
My daughter does not deserve to be here like this.
Is the question that continues to boggle the minds of Jamaicans who were shocked at her haunting death. The little girl was abducted from the Brayton Infant and Primary School in St. Catherine on June 8, attacked, hospitalized, and soon died of injuries to her neck. Her death has been shrouded in conspiracies, which the father also addressed.
A whole lot of speculations, a whole lot of rumors. some absolute disgusting and repulsive statements have been made. Whosoever took my daughter's life took someone who wanted to be a vet.
But there are fears that her killer may never be brought to
That's the mother
justice,
in the blue, right?
even as the
That's all.
child was being laid to rest.
The anger and hurt are compounded by the fact that we do not yet have answers.
Several senior police officers were seated among the mourners at the child's funeral. Head of the St. Catharines South Police Division and acting head, Superintendent Hopton Nicholson, says though Danielle was taken from the school in Portmore, the attack didn't happen there. The little girl was found in the St. Andrew Central Police Division. The senior officer there was unavailable at the time. But has the case gone cold? The police have been calling on those with information to come forward.
We still believe the perpetrator was known to Danielle, and once again ask the public for their assistance in identifying the person.
Allow us to just continue what we are doing. Just be assured that we are doing everything that we can do within our investigative capability.
There is just no clear lead at this time.
One by one, mourners shared their memories of Danielle Rowe, who was bright and full of life, receiving all the praises, a little girl who reminded the audience of the real issue. Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
All right.
The church father broke silence.
All right.
Corporal Noble Rowe.
Now, I want to think about the father's body language. What was he more? Where did you see more emotion come forward? Was more emotion coming forward when he was talking about why did they take my daughter? Or was there more emotion coming forward when he was asking about the rumors? When he was talking about the rumors? What was he more angry about based on his body language? Those of us who are good at reading people. When you look upon him body language during the whole thing when he's talking about the death, he might look off into the horizon. Him not really focused. But you see when he started talking about the rumors that he heard around his daughter's death, his eyes narrowed and he look directly at the audience. Yes? Of course there was more emotion about the rumors than there was about his daughter's passing. Now, as you have all heard, the woman that was positively identified. Now, listen, let's not get ourselves mixed up. Because a positive identification for the abduction is not necessarily the positive identification of the person who committed the crime. As in the unaliving. There are two different things. And I'm conscious that some bloggers are out there going, Lord of mercy, then catch the person where unalive the girl and blah, blah, blah. They have not yet determined whether or not the abductor is actually the person who has committed the actual heinous act. Can see it even his cheekbones. Of course. Because in face start twitch when he talk about the rumors. And in next start move. Because he was more passionate about protecting the image of the person who has been arrested for the abduction. Now, I believe I was one of the first to put out the picture on Facebook of the girl. I don't believe anybody first me upon that one. They might have first it somewhere else, but not on that. So, this girl is the girl who is actually the person who was positively ID'd. And her name is Coyote Satchel. So if you just take a look at the girl. There she is. Coyote Satchel. That is her. Okay? And she definitely bears a strong resemblance to the sketch. Okay, she does bear a strong resemblance to the sketch. So when you see the sketch now, you can imagine, so she did just tie her head, right? When she went to go and get the little girl. Now, At the end of the day, we are hearing rumors about the fact that this man had a fatal disease, a terminal disease. But it's not a death sentence. He have a disease where you can live with once you are under medication. We are also hearing other things about the fact that it is suspected that the reason why this child was unalived was because it was part of a ritual. Yes. And that this ritual was believed to be a cure for the positive status man. No, I am not a person who believes in a science. I'm not into that kind of stuff. But I do know that people believe. And it is not the first time I have heard it said that a virgin's bodily fluids can help to cure somebody who is of positive status. I have heard it before. I've heard it before in an African context. You hear me? So it is not a strange thing that I have never heard. Hey Vanessa, it's not a strange thing I have never heard. So we're gonna look at the drawing. Hold on there. And you can see say is exactly the same person.
A woman has been taken into custody for interest.
Right, hold on.
Funeral.
Let's find the image. Right. So here is the sketch. See it there? There's a sketch. Definitely look like her to me. Look a lot like her to me. Because when you look at the sketch and you look at the woman, they are very, very similar. Similar fair skin. Similar nose, even the forehead. Look at it. It's a pity me never edit it and put it side by side, and then you know they get a direct comparison between the picture. She just clearly was wearing no glasses and her head did tie up. Right? Take off the glasses, take off the makeup and the eyebrow and tie up the head. And the same woman. The same woman that you are seeing. Same one. She that. So she was positively identified. Yes, so true. There is a resemblance. Of course, there's a resemblance, a huge resemblance. Now we're going to come up with our own kind of theories about why it is that this young lady would be so participatory in this. Now, remember, we're not saying that she's the one who did the heinous act, but she certainly was a vessel towards the final outcome. So maybe she transported the child to a space where the thing could get done. You hear what I'm saying? And the picnic managed to get away. But either way you take it, she was a part and party to the whole thing. Now remember, this first voice note that we heard said that the man was extremely abusive. That he was physically violent. Right? That he had the women in his company under duress. That he has in fact passed on the disease to quite a few women. I don't know. This is all alleged. And I wish these women would come forward, but I guess they're afraid. Now, I am not going to say that this woman is innocent. But what if she too was also being cajoled by this man and forced to do things? Because I notice in the comments, everybody quick for jump up and say, hey, dirty girl, and you do this, and this girl, and nothing more than she jealous of the mother, and nothing more than say, she can't have no picnic, or whatever, she get rid of the man picnic. Listen, it's very easy to go with a scenario of the wicked stepmother. It's a very believable story. Many times this tends to happen. It tends to be true that the stepmother is the evil one behind this. But I am trying to say to you that you have some woman out there, you know, who for head soft, who for man can twist their head for do anything they want them for do. Anything them want them to do, them do it. You understand me? It's more the story than they letting off. It's more to the story than they letting off. Okay. Yes, of course there's more to the story. Right? It's more to the story. So while it's a very easy point finger to say, yes, this is the woman, I bet you we're going to hear a whole unraveling as to how it is that it went from abduction to unaliving. That there's a whole other thing happening right there, so. And that it might very well be that it's the man that is behind it. True, three sides to the story or more in this case. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? Because the things them that I see there going on and the conversations that I'm having, everything is pivotal to this man's illness that particular people in the family knew about. Now, I am aware that Andre interviewed the aunt, and that the aunt, I mean, I play Andre things for my life, but the aunt basically said that this child, it suspected that this child was a ritual sacrifice, and that in that ritual sacrifice, the idea was for the same outcome, right? In order to save themselves from this illness. Now you try to tell me, say, you ignorant so till that you would eradicate your child from the face of the earth just through your own manhood? Because you want to be able to sleep bareback with women without responsibility, as so you are led and ruled by the flesh? That you would do anything, including sacrifice your own child, in order to live a wanton and careless life? Somehow the apostle Auntie seems to believe that this is the case. That this is what the man would do. You understand? All right. We're going to listen to another something now. Hold on. Hold on there. And the child was so lovely, my God. All right. Now, despite the fact that this man is a highly influential individual, despite the fact that he was a highly influential individual, it was Sudine Mason, who is Danielle's mother, who had to come out and insist that some kind of civil action take place, you know. Nobody was doing anything about it until she come out and she do this video here, where she basically start cuss and complain, say, imagine me pitney dead and nobody doing anything about it. Hold on.
Man, I hate you will last our life and nobody at all no march, nobody no protest, nobody no at all. Come on, Jamaica, no, come on, people. Because they want so-called influencer, public figure, no go that bag of things, no black people, no march, no go that bag of things. But no, it's that it's all life that lasts, you know, man. We can do better for our country. You don't think this nice for our country? You don't think this nice? But no, man. Listen, man, you need to do better. This don't look good at all. Imagine my daughter left for go to school and my son, when we get a phone call saying that hospital back up your life. Is that her life? We need to do better, man. We need to do better.
All right. After that, Andre jumped on the case and start to do the interviews and find out about what is what, right? There were protests about Danielle Rowe. And, you know, the government had to pay attention. But if you notice at the funeral, the majority of the people who were sat at the front were all political individuals. You had policemen, you had commissioners, you had some of the top men, them in the police ranking, sitting in that church. So it is clear to say that this man was not just an ordinary copper, that he was highly regarded. You understand me? Now, it's easy for these people in high places to hide information. Look how long it has taken about that other case with the policeman and the coach. I don't want to call no name with that one. And to this day, them can't find the child body. And to this day, the lady, they can't find her body. And to this day, that we can't get a firm conviction that this man is guilty. Because they watch each other's back. They cover each other's back. There is an unspoken code amongst the corrupt police. The corrupt, not the good. The corrupt police. And this is one of the reasons why the auntie did have to come out and go on with herself. Because she was pushed aside because them never want whatever she had to say to come out in the church. Them never want any of our forebodings and our warnings to come out in the church. So there was all of this that took place.
Because of politics. Unless you're part of the politics. Yes, that's politics. Them cut out the family. Nobody can say nothing. Minister this and minister that. Go get your picnic. You idiot. We don't know. And the chief them cut out, take out my name and fight. Take out my name and fight. From day one, I was supposed to open. Man of God, you're not man of God. You're not supposed to be in a police station. You need to go serve God and leave me alone right now. Then take me off of the program. Why they take me off? Because the ESM is a woman apostle. The ESM is a woman apostle. So they take me off of the program. Them all got to take me off of the program. And put some people where we don't know. And we have some people where we don't know. And come on. When the people left and going to play with me. And they come give me the earth, me all that. And we got to take her. Come here, big auntie. Come on, hey, family, come. Come. Everyone follow me now. If the table was, if the shoes was on your foot, the shoes was a small. In a big. You rent the church place that a member. You pay your money. Here the man go and tell my niece, and that pissed me off. Go and tell my niece a while ago. Somebody speak in tongues in their church, and we are not allowed to speak. We are only going to still Christian. What do they? And that pissed me off, sir. You can't tell me not speak tongues in a God word, I got they go to the knees, I'm to the knees. We are supposed to speak the tongues. You can't let me don't listen to me now. Listen. If you don't listen to me now, I'm going to just go in there. So you just need to listen now. So let's go in the car and sit down. So then pay for this cigarette. No, they can't take my cash. We can't buy our cash right now, cash. No, my soul. No, my soul. Come no man, let's go. Everybody up video. Welcome, Mr. Paul. All about video. Jimmy, Mr.
Why didn't they want this woman to talk? Why didn't they want her to talk? Why did they want to silence her? You heard the things that she said when she went on Andre's program. She was going to go up there and she was going to light some fire, and they had to silence her before it all came out. You see, this girlfriend, she was doing the work of that man. You see, that girlfriend, she that doing work. She's guilty. Even if she never used the weapon. Even if it's not she do the final act, she's still just as guilty by association. But you see that man there? I don't think so that man should go without any kind of investigation. But you see the police, she also disclosed a lot about the father. Of course she did. You see the police though, because this man is clearly connected. The police is gonna do stuff in terms of trying to cover it up because the last thing they want is to look bad. They don't want to look like they have been harboring a criminal within their midst all this time. You understand me? How is it that you can release an image like that and you no know say it look like your girlfriend? Tell me that. How you can see an image release and none of the officer them where your friend never come forward and say, but bossy, you know, sister, that picture you look like my girl, man. It was 2 weeks ago that this woman was arrested. So you try to tell me, say nobody before that could have tell, say something is up? That this look very remarkably like this person? That this father never have his eye on his own woman and him don't know what a woman look like and the resemblance is so uncanny. Him well and know. Him well and know. And you see this little girl's spirit a ride them. It a haunt them. Remember me tell you that. Because at the end of the day, it will not rest until it get justice. You see the tears of that mother, because this auntie, she loud, you know. And she like the bangarang, you can tell. Right? She like the bangarang and she loud. She may have some facts and she may have some emotions about it, but you know it's who for pain going to bring all of this out is that mother's pain. For all of the time that she was held down and forcibly taken by a man who is of positive status. You see, all them time there, every cry she cry, this man is going to suffer for it. You understand me? This man is going to suffer for it. Because at the end of the day, if he can do something like that, what is taking a life? Because every time he does something like that to a female is a crime. Every single time him do something like that to a female is a crime. Is a loss of life potentially. You know that it's attempted murder? Did you know that? And if you turn out to be positive, it's definitely going to fall under the fact that you have inflicted such grievous bodily harm that can lead to fatality. Many men out there get some hell of a sentence for doing stuff like that. And this man is allowed to get away with it. And I bet you it was reported before. I bet you. But because him is a policeman and him connected, him get away with it and him get to do it over and over again. It is my belief that this man must be investigated. That him not innocent. That she not innocent. But I would not be shocked if she is doing something on his behalf. I would not be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. Be it by force or not, him I make her do it. Because this man is a man who don't take no. Him not take no. So he will force the woman to do it. He will force the woman to carry out him dirty deeds. And maybe true she well want him to not have the disease. She well want him to not have the disease. She would try anything. Him say him can't do it himself. Him can't do it himself because I feel pitney. You can't do it for me because I can't do it myself. Maybe him send she to go collect the pitney so him can then finish off the act. Because then him can manage to hide it. So it not connect back to him. Him probably tell her how to dress because you can tell from the picture say she no normally dress with her head tie up. You can tell from the picture say so she normally put herself together but she do so to make herself look a bit different panda day there. That she do. Now you know Jamaican schools uno is a set of slackness. Me I go tell you this. Uno is a set of slackness. How in God's name? Agree with you. Andre picked up that something wasn't right with the father when he interviewed him because his response wasn't consistent with the first interview. I heard it. You know, and he was quite, if anything, he was a bit passive-aggressive with Andre in the second interview. And Andrea was asking him, so are you on your medication and stuff like that? And he's saying yes. He was supposed to go back to work. He wasn't working. He was off work because of his illness. And he was meant to go back to work, but there was some problem with the administration part of it. And nothing more than I try find a desk job for him because him can't remember, if you are HIV positive, you cannot be on frontline duty at all in any serve and protect capacity. You cannot. A desk job for you, desk duty for you, if them decide to have mercy, because sometimes you can get fired. Because there is always a risk of contamination. You understand me? When you're on the front line and on the beat and you have got a positive status, you're a risk and a liability, health-wise. You understand? And they have to have all kind of risk assessment in place if somebody of positive status is out on the front line, especially if it's an officer that carries a weapon. So you see what I'm saying? He would have to be getting a desk job if them still going to keep him in the force. So that is what is holding up his employment. You understand me? But what I'm going to say is this. You see that man must be investigated. You see, if you watch this whole series and you see them a veer away from interviewing the man, just know say them a cover it up in the police. Them a cover it up. You understand me? Them a cover it up. And that there's even more to it. A whole heap of them rich man they want to see in a ritual, you know, people. A whole heap of them geared up, you know. Remember the scenario with Kevin Smith and how it was revealed how many people of power he was in the company of. Remember, say a whole heap of them go to Obia, man, for protect themselves and do all sorts. So, no, if the people them where him have a front seat in the church, very much a part of what take place. Me just a say, we don't know how far it go or how deep it go. I don't understand how he didn't go back to see his child in the hospital. He didn't need to be home to try to find people to give her blood. Yes, that is correct. You understand? Everything that you're saying there was dubious because after the situation happened, as a matter of fact, let me play the voice now because some people may not be aware of the voice note that came with that information. Hold on there.
Leaked voice note surrounding the death of Danielle Rowe. It is alleged that is her father.
No, I don't want to use that one.
Who is the one who killed her?
Them people
Full
there.
video on our YouTube channel.
And people there send you go to YouTube. Hold on. May I go find it, give on. Make you hear that voice note about the father's behavior shortly after the death of the child. Wanna bear with me. Tan toddy. Keep on the kin quiet. And not go nowhere. Keep on the kin quiet a moment.
Father left for him. Now man him pick me. And something, but the little girl have one brother go Britain too. With them, with her. So the stepmother and the father went and pick up the child without the knowledge of the mother. But the brother was telling the little girl not to go, but they know to her father, them convinced her to go. Next thing on the show, them say little girl missing. Next thing one little girl was reported taken to children. So when them go a little girl, apparently a little boy must tell his mother say, I bet they pick up her in Pitney. Anyway, when them send call him hospital, him come, but when he realized that she not dead, it's like the expression on his face, the look on his face, it's like, boy, she not dead. Of course, that I wash him. And he say, he must step outside, little cars, he must wash him. Nobody see now if him again, Lincoln. Then I have to you to disappear. Who the one they said that them 8-year-old in that hospital right now? As a father, you don't sleep at children's hospital. You would have sleep there. Yeah. See, I want to go dirty, man.
You know here?
That context is given.
I'm force a little girl something when I'm
Here.
coming.
So the man hardly there at hospital. The man hardly there at hospital. The man leave the hospital and left the picnic there. Did not return until her final fatal demise. Now, Una tell me if that not suspicious. Una tell me if that is not suspicious. You know, them say that when him hear say the child never dead, him have this look come over him like him was disappointed, worried, nervous. You wouldn't be surprised if you dig a little deeper enough to find out if the wound kill the child or if a sickness kill the child, you know. Because one of the things that they tend not to do is they tend not to do post-mortems necessarily if the child passes in hospital. So did we hear anything about the details of the post-mortem? Who knows if the post-mortem wasn't changed? Because the man was worried that the child was going to talk. Worried that the child was going to talk. Apparently, when he went to the funeral home for the whole thing, his face was blank. Blank. While the autopsy was being conducted on the body of his 8-year-old daughter. Him face blank, him not have no emotion on it. But when you see the picture of the mother bawl, the mother breakdown, her whole body language showed utter grief. And him still have this stoic look on his face. This stoic thing which mean him not show no emotion at all. Right? From the same thing we see him where we see him at the church, same way we see him at the autopsy, same way him stay. So we are hearing all kind of red herring when them talk about this girlfriend is the oh, we have positively. I remember, you know, you see the whole of them there, the police officer, they trust me. Them are him friend. And them will do anything to put something in the public eye for everybody jump up and say, praise God, thank God. Yes, sitting happen. Well done, JCF, and pat on the shoulder for the Prime Minister for not giving up on this case. But me are telling you, say we are miss a piece of the puzzle, and we are miss a big piece of the puzzle. And if that not happen, she is going to be the scapegoat for what this man is capable of. She are going to be the scapegoat. Because him can decide right now, you know, people say him a go sacrifice she. And make she go down for the things them what him involved in, you know. Right? Him deliberately remove the apostle auntie from the church. No want her talk. No want her energy or her spirit in the church at all. Because him afraid of what she might have opened up her mouth and say. Afraid of it. Remove her from the situation and put forward all them little speaky spooky people them. But me I telling you say, anyhow, we as the public don't hear that this man is being investigated too. Especially as this is his partner or his ex. He must be the next in line of suspects. She may be positively ID'd as the abductor. It not necessarily means say as she do the thing. And I think he didn't see the child when he went to the hospital. A caring father would have been at the hospital first thing the next morning. But no, he didn't because he was trying to give blood. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Doesn't make any sense at all that he was doing all of that. None of that don't make no sense. Look on the poor mother. The mother, the one who really has suffer. May I tell you, say, a fear, tears are going to make this thing happen. Fear, tears. That's going to go. That's not going to go unpunished. That man needs to be looked into. Anyway, guys, I did tell you that it was going to be short and sweet, that we were just going to reflect on the things that we know so far, that we are going to be just praying for that mother, that she gets full justice for her daughter, okay? And, you know, nothing that you see on social media is 100% what it is. Nothing that you see, there's always other sides of the story. Yes, there is their side, there is our side, there is the next person's side, there is the truth. And when corruptive forces are in charge of the investigation, we cannot be certain that what we're going to get is going to be 100% the truth. Too many people from too many sources are saying the same thing. So if it is ignored, try no says corruption in high places. I lead to that ignoring. But all me know is that me go leave it to Andre, Popeye, and the rest of them Monday for go and beat down the door them and get the people them for talk so that the people them have to pay attention and do the right by that child. Anyway, guys, big up yourself. There are 50:49. It's dropping quickly before you exit. Like up the live, no people, before you exit. It not take nothing for una for like up the live. That is free and does not take a second for una for do. Like up the live before una exit, man. Thank you very much. All right. This is your girl, Headteacha K. Be blessed.